Greetings, my friend. This is Gilles Mancillon. I'm called to come back and speak to you today. I'm going to discuss a few ideas. I've been asked to speak about the elemental kingdoms, and I'm also going to speak about very briefly about different ideas about moving from the electromagnetic field, the third and fourth dimension that is polarized, to move into the crystalline field. From the fifth to the 12th dimension, we move into the non-polarized harmonious connection, the harmonious field of reality, which actually extends up to the 15th dimension. Then we move on to a more rancia realities after that. But in essence, what needs to be understood is that there is all the memory of Atlantis, this old civilization of Atlantis, which was a golden age on Atlantis for 200,000 years. It was paradise on earth. And then eventually, around 17,500 BC, some beings created because of the desire to bring demons from the depths, created a complete catastrophe, and the whole continent was destroyed, and there was only 5 islands that gets survive, and Poseida was the only one that maintained the law of one. And we're returning. We all participated. Most of us participated in all this adventure, and then eventually there was a complete breakdown of this civilization, and but 9 of the very sacred crystals from Arcturus that were preserved before the fall, and they were put in very special places in the crystal bed of Arkansas, in the crystal bed of Brazil, as well as other places, and they were reactivated from 2003 to 2012 because the spirit realm was ready for the ascension in 2012. Just humanity had a delay because they were not ready, so we got an extension to burn out all kinds of karma so they could actually qualify. And with those activation, there's the blue crystal of knowledge, there is the emerald crystal of healing, there is the platinum crystal, which is really the one that maintains the field. And in 2000, on the 11 of November 2011 at 11 minute 11 second, there was an activation of that crystal, which interacted with Max, which is the 13th paradigm, the crystal skull of Atlantis, that's most advanced memory bank, the artificial intelligence, and the field was reactivated. 12 solar disks were placed on the planet at strategic point, and each of those disks, all of that is invisible, of course, those solar disk is connected to 12 satellites, which are also invisible, but are creating this field. So the fifth dimensional field is already available. It's already activated. We just need to interact with it to reinforce our connection to it. I'm also going to probably make a video about the Bermuda Triangle to share some thoughts and ideas. Everything I talk is just a perspective, because in third dimension is this or that. There is only one past, one present, and one future. But in the fourth dimension already, there is many past, many present, and many future. It's always this and that. It's not this or that. So only God is absolute. The creator, an absolute, is something that does not change, that has no beginning, that has no end, that is independent of time and space. And this absolute, this created, which is one absolute, but is manifested in 7 co-absolute of reality. 3 are personal, which is the universal Father, the eternal Son, and the infinite Spirit. Existential. One is existential but non-personal, the island of paradise. And then there is three co-absolutes of potentiality, which is the universal absolute, the deity absolute, and the unqualified absolute, the deity absolute being the only one that's really truly personal. The other one couldn't qualify it as personal. But in truth, there is only one absolute, one infinite. But within all field of evolution, it's only relative. Right now, we're working with the supreme being. Supreme being, which is God of time and space, and so we're working with that creator. Also wanted to say that before I expand on what I want to discuss today, to respect all the religion and all the messengers of God. For those who do not respect God, who mock God and mock his messengers, will have to face pretty strong consequences. There was a great leader in the past that has a pretty bad rap in history, but he was actually a very spiritual person. His name is Genghis Khan. He's a great Mongolian leader. He did a lot in his time for the cause of women, to to reinstate woman as an equal to man, and he believed that religions were just different fingers of the same hand. And so he supported all the religions, so there was a cohesive understanding of that. So just respect all the religion as much as possible. Oh, it's not as much as possible. Sometimes there is a lot of distortion that has been plagued the religion. Deform his teaching, so just remain true to your heart in first, but it is not a good idea to move into heavy criticism of this or that. And the card of the day is here and now. It's just about being here and now, reconnected to the sacred heart, the emerald heart. For there is only one heart, and the emerald heart was the emerald. The covenant of emerald was the Christic, was the divine order manifested in physicality. And then during the Galactic War, there was the Black Alliance that came in that created all the distortion. And even on this planet, there's all kind of black magic and all kinds of things that happened. They need to be decomposed slowly but surely so they can liberate the planet. It's already happening. There are millions of light workers that are coming into their empowerment. They come from they're in all places, all countries, all races, all religion, or non-religion, all walks of life. They are in all social classes. They all have done a lot of inner work to move into their position. And we receive, in order to get there, we received a lot of spiritual help from above, consciously or unconsciously. We would have never made it without. And we're going to continue to utilize those resources. Our soul is evolving, growing, is doing all kinds of wonderful things up there. Sometimes we're not aware. Sometimes we feel like we are like the part that are. Sometimes I feel like my soul has sacrificed my incarnation for some kind of a higher purpose, but I don't think it is the case. In truth, it's just spiritual challenges and doubts. The soul is not material and it's not spiritual. The soul is a memory cell that we integrated as the eternal self that we integrated when we came into the universe before we were spirit. And then, so the soul is like it has a beginning, but it has no hand. Maybe you will find a hand completion when completely fuse back into the source. But the soul is. There is a whole domain of reality that belongs to that level of reality that's non-material and non-spiritual, we call morantiel, because the spirit realm is beyond anything we can conceive. It is so beautiful, it is so rich, it is so amazing, and there is so much difference between the material and the spiritual that the master spirit of paradise, each of them in their own super universe, created a whole domain, universes of transition between the material and the spiritual realm. So find your soul, you find God, you find your eternal self, you find your divine I am. And so because the soul and the I am are just intimately connected. We can never be separated from the love of God, but we use our power of creator to create those separations. Now we need to dissolve the veils. So I'm going to talk about the elementals very briefly, is that to understand that every being, every material being is supported by elemental beings that are invisible. There are countless elementals, a lot of elementals. That I can invite you to call on the fairies, call on telepathically to connect to the fairy queen nearest you, and to invite the fairies into your home. They're wonderful company. They're fifth dimensional beings. They're like little fairies, with their wings and things. But and they're very poetic, they're very wonderful, they're wonderful friends. And you can drop a piece of chocolate in nature sometimes as a gift for them and wrap it. And for they do not find that, but they like to draw on the substance of it. For there are many elementals, and there are certain elementals, and the elementals we have within ourselves. And every being, every rock, every mineral has its timeline. Every tree has its timeline. Every animal has its timeline. Every human has its timeline. From one human to another, it's different timeline. And so we are holder of water, we are holder of fire, we are holder of air, and we are holder of matter. And so there is for the crystalline grid, everything will learning about this crystalline energy. We have crystalline parts within ourselves. Is the future of technology, the future of science. It's like there is no. That's how we're gonna come to realize all the galactic civilization are depending on this crystalline energy field. And so this exercise is about upgrading all and the elementals that we have. The four great elements are coordinated by a Devic angel, and above there is a Elohim that maintains the form. And so we want to call on first. It's a little exercise that I've already probably talked about this before. Is to call on the fire elemental, the salamander, and to thank the salamander within ourselves for upgrading our electrochemicals energy. For there is three energies. There is the blood that goes up and down. There is the Akash, the cellular memory, and then there is the electromagnetic impulse that sends the information to the brain so it can figure it out. And so the salamander, we thank them for this upgrading all the fire element within ourselves. Thank you very much. Then we'll call on the selves. The selves are the air element, the everywhere, the air element. And so they're a bit confused sometimes about all these pollutions because they have to deal with it. But we're straighten up. We are about to straighten up, and this global warming has nothing to do with carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is actually very good. Plants needs that, and we need that. It's because the Earth's core is spinning faster, and so everything. So the crystals on the Earth are getting more energy to prepare for the ascension. It is natural. There is nothing we can do about it. But the sun, all the planets of the solar system are preparing for ascension. So the selves is we thank the selves to fill every space within our body, in between the cells, in between the atoms, in between the molecules, in between the atoms, in between the particles, everything to be filled with love and light, and we thank them. Then we call on the Undine. The Undines are the water elements. They purify everything, and so we want to thank the Undine within ourselves to upgrade all of hydraulic systems within ourselves, which controls the emotional body as well. So it's like all so we thank them for purifying, elevating the water systems within ourselves, and finally we go to the little dwarfs, the little beings. I've seen them; they're quite amazing. They're just like little beings, and it's like, so you ask them to go and thank them for going into every cell, every organ, to start repairing everything that has been damaged through that, because with the certain cells, certain things within ourselves, we're completely unaware. We have trillions of cells within ourselves. We're not conscious of all that is going on within our own physical body. So we thank them, and we thank our Devic angels to supervise the coordination of that process. But you can go already also to communicate with elementals, is to talk to trees, talk to them, just communicate with trees and plants and rocks and minerals, and very soon we're going to reintegrate this knowledge about crystals. It will be quite wonderful. So also wanted to that's what I wanted to talk about. For those 9 crystals have been put in place and reactivated between 2003 and 2012, and everything has been in place. As well as there was 12 solar discs that was placed as a strategic location on the planet, and each of those solar discs are connected to 12 satellites, so 144 satellites, etheric satellites that are already in. The field is already created. We just need to tune in to the field of harmony, because the third and fourth dimension is polarized. It's electromagnetic. But as we move into the crystalline field, there is harmony, there is grace, there is peace in this field. And then the more we ascend, the more peace and joy and expansion, the more silence we can create, and the more we can receive from the Creator and from the world of spirit. For the universe, the whole of the universe is a masterpiece of creation. It is far greater and more grandiose than anything we can, because we only see the skin of it, we only see little. But even on the infinitely large, it is wonderful. But when we go into the infinitely small, we discover amazing realm. I've been taken and visiting realm. Even if I spend 10 seconds over there, it's like I spend a whole year of vacation. It's like I don't want to leave that place. It's so it's like, it's amazing, and we all have that within ourselves, and it's all happening through the third eye. Everything is revealed through that. So this great creation of the universe is unsigned. And it's not because a great masterpiece is not signed that it is not a creation of a creator. So know yourself and know your relation to the source, and then all things will flow into the grace. And continue to cultivate this sense of to connect to the emerald heart, to return to the emerald convention of the heart, in the heart of hearts. There is only one heart, and once we live in the heart, we get it. So I just wanted also to share a little exercise that's. It's about the exercise that we receive this diamond from the mother. It's a blue diamond we place in our heart. And this diamond that is placed in our heart, which I'm giving it to you right now, I'm placing it in your heart. And is actually our connection to the Creator. It is an anchor to connect. Our human consciousness can connect at all time to the Creator through the diamond. And this diamond, when now you received it, it's in your heart. The more you're going to be able to share it, the more your own diamond is going to grow and strength and magnificence and brilliance. So I made already a few distribution. I wasn't sure if it was wise to give it to very dark souls and dark people. I placed a few of them in some dark souls, but I'm not really sure they're ready for that. Although I didn't see there was any harm to that, but basically it's like a gift that we receive from the mother. From the mother is really the Holy Spirit. She's the one we want this softness, this beauty, this grace, this nurturing, and even on Atlantis. This law of one, or the one at Poseida at the end, they were very matriarchal. They were very submissive to the will of spirit, and and we all participated. We all had lives on Atlantis. And so it's like we need to regain this memory, this connection to that. Well, I hope this message was interesting for you. I thank you for your presence. I thank you for your presence on the planet, for your presence in listening to my messages, to continue to cultivate your sense of joy, your sense of connection. I thank you for liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. And thank you very much for your donations. I'm going to finish you with a song. I wasn't sure what to sing, so I would go back to this old song today. I just pulled this. I didn't prepare anything, so it's a song called "Amazing Grace." Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appeared, the hour I first believed. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun. This frequency of grace is the crystalline field. As we enter into the crystalline field, we find that even if we're not able to completely stay there all the time, is to remind ourselves that every so often as possible, we want to tune into this higher frequency of fifth dimensional and above. for and I am presence is the great interpreter of all meaning and value within ourselves. It's an absolute being. It's a fragment of the universal Father. It knows all beings in the universe. It is like it connects. It knows all things, all beings. And our guardian angels will also play its role in the in being a liaison between all kinds of other spirits. Well, I hope you're having a good day. So I finished with pull a few cards. For the observer with friendship and happiness. So it's like happiness is not which as when we let go of all the electromagnetic, the drama, the third and fourth dimension, we find that joy, we find that happiness, and the highest wisdom is joy. What we need to understand is compassion. We need to exercise compassion for ourselves, to be our best friend and best supporter, as well as for others. We have to support others, if when we can, is to bring them back, to allow them a moment of peace, a moment of letting go of this mental process that most people are involved in. What we need to do is love, continue to cultivate love. Love is the beginning and the end, and in between there is all kinds of things in between the beginning and the end. But at the beginning there was love, there was God, which first nature is love, second nature is mercy, and his third nature is ministry. And so continue to cultivate love, to increase this quality and the quality frequency of love. Love is something that is beyond words. It's a feeling. It is wonderful. It is warm. It's inclusive. It is healing. And the outcome will be family, to connect to deep soul connections, the good feeling, the ability to share, the ability to be light about life, and to cut out all kinds of things from our life. Just forgive the people that are still entangling you in whatever process they're going through. Talk to their higher self. Send love and light to their higher self. Ask when you talk to the higher self of anyone, things are already like it's already improving. It's like, because sometimes the lower self is incapable of, is entrapped in self-limiting beliefs, and so. But the higher self of everybody's got a higher self. Every animal, every tree, the planet, a higher self is named Shitaya. She's got a higher self, and she's emerging from millennia of darkness. She's been quarantined, the poor thing. Now we're trying to restore her into the cosmic circuits of the universe, so she can become fully active in this family of planets that we belong to. Well, thank you very much. Wish you a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later. Salat.